When I was 16, I used to steal condoms every week from the supermarket. I never really stole anything else, but for some reason I was too embarrassed to go at the counter with a 12-pack of Durex Pleasure Max and face the cashier. Combine that with not wanting to ask my parents for money because they might figure it out, it was the only solution in my head. I would go in with a fat jacket in near summer weather and would walk around the whole place until I found a nice blind spot of the cameras to put the condoms the jacket's pocket. One time I even went with an empty laptop bag that would cover my pocket. I sincerely thought it was a great plan. However, looking back at it now, I am pretty sure the security staff had great laughs with me and just let me do it out of understanding, and maybe because they didn't want to cause an unplanned pregnancy to a minor. I'll never know, but I feel like it's funny and wanted to share.
I stole a notebook just for the sake of knowing I can get away with it. I went to this store close to our house and I started walking around and look at surveillance camera, and this little rebellious devil in me had a thought, what if I can steal something? I just wanted to live in the edge and see if I can get away with it. I picked up a small notebook and put it in my purse while looking around for camera and making sure I don't get caught. I did it and I regret it now. I sold my body. When I turned 18, I was homeless, so for 6 months I sold body as a prostitute to get money, to get somewhere to sleep for a night, hell, even to get a shower. It was the worst time of my life. Being a man and as a male, you would think, wow, that's awesome, you scored so much. The complete opposite. In fact, every day I would see myself in the mirror and cry, thinking I'm not capable of love or even getting on my own 2 feet. I thought to myself, I cannot afford some food for the night, let alone to fall in love. Having sexual experiences with someone you do not love is the most horrible feeling ever. I don't know about anyone else, but I feel like I was somehow torturing myself. It was the hardest, most demeaning, most heart-rending thing I have ever done. I still have problems with self-esteem because of this, so when my GF wants to have sex, I usually have to convince myself that she wants me for me and nothing else. Overall, an 8-hour process. So I've decided to tell some of my friends who I don't feel will judge me, who may not know. I've read so much support and good vibes sent my way. Thank you all so much. I pretended to be a homeless teen to make money panhandling. I was 18. I had a sign that said I got kicked out for being a lesbian. One time a gay person on Broadway gave me $100. I just wanted to make enough to wander around Europe. The day I got my visa, I got robbed and took it as a sign to stop. I'm really sorry, gay community. I threw up all over my friend's bathroom and didn't clean it. Was at a small gathering where I was very drunk and been smoking. Pizza was ordered and after 3 slices I run to the toilet and throw up in and outside the toilet, covering the ground in sick. Being high and wasted, I put the carpet over the sick and left. I then carried on drinking after a power nap and threw up outside. I sound bad, but it was a mental party. Multiple people threw up or broke objects. I stole my dad's 400 watch when I was 13 and have never been able to tell him. Still eats me up 17 years later. I was being bullied at school for the way I looked and the stuff I had. My dad had won the watch, he wouldn't have been able to afford to buy it. I stole it and sold it to a shop for $200 just so that I could buy some new trainers and bag for school so that I'd fit in more. He was so happy he'd won the watch and he looked for it for months. I still hate myself for that. Still can't tell him cause I just don't want to see how disappointed he would be if he knew. Even now I'm 31. I hit my son when he was 2 and blamed it on somebody else. I lost my temper with my 2-year-old and hit him several times. After doing that, I felt so guilty that I still cry about it to this day because he was old enough to understand and he seemed like he was scared of me for a long time. Now he's really attached to me and can't let me go, but I still hate myself every day for hurting him. I've stolen thousands from my parents for my own personal gain. During the last 2 years of my life when I was like 15, I've taken advantage of my parents' generosity and stole thousands of euros from them. I did this in order to start making money on my own as I don't want to go and work a regular 9/5 job in the future. The worst part of this all is that my family lives from paycheck to paycheck, so me taking advantage of them really makes them struggle so much more. But I think it is good for myself as I want to break this paycheck to paycheck cycle. The way I did it was to tell my parents to give me money for bus tickets and many other small things, usually under 10, but I always asked for 30%, 40% more money than I actually needed. When I came home, I usually gave them a bit of money back, maybe like 5% or so, saying that I had a bit too much money. They never questioned it and were always grateful that I returned the money I didn't spend. The amount of money I gained from this was usually 200, 300 each month. The thing is, I hoarded most of that money and started building and selling PCs so that I eventually would have a lot of money and not have to go and work a regular job. I don't think I will tell them that I did this. Maybe I will when I'm more successful with what I'm doing, then I will defiantly repay them, but for now have to live with this. We bribed a kid in our high school to take the blame for an adult video cassette. When I was schooling before internet was popular, video cassettes and magazines of adult content were popular among seniors. But obviously they were banned in the school most of us being kids must have been the reason. So they often screened out classes and begs for adult content. So one day, one tape was caught in the gym, and it belonged to me and my friends. But the tape was on a cupboard, so they couldn't find who it was. However, the principal said if no one comes forward, he will add that to the school permanent record of all students in our class. So we all were afraid, but luckily nobody in our class betrayed us. We were looking for some solution to the issue. Somehow, a person from the previous class in the gym came to us. He was known to be a thug in the school with a bad rep. Anyway, I had no personal problem with him. So he said, if you give me $200, I will accept the tape is mine. I am not proud of what we did next, but we agreed to his terms and collected $200 within 2 days and gave it to him. And apparently he is a man of his words. He accepted, and with his previous record nobody thought twice of it. And as I heard, even the principal was like, oh, this guy, no problem, we can't punish him, he is way too corrupted. He was not punished as well. And we got away. In year 1 I would tell my friends that I was poor so they would give me food. I wasn't poor, they just had better food. This ended in them telling their parents. They called social services, then social services coming to my house, and I said that I didn't say that, and they were always asking me for food, and my mom even backed that story up even though it wasn't true, and they got suspended. I'm in year 8 now, but I don't regret anything. I gave a girl a purse, lied and said I didn't, and then got her sent to juvie. I was in middle school and became good friends with a girl who constantly complained about her home life. She complained that her mom took everything she had away from her, wouldn't let her have friends, a phone, food, or clothes. She made things sound terrible. She shared with me that her birthday was coming up and that she would get nothing for her birthday because her parents were awful. I felt bad and proceeded to bring her an old pink purse my aunt had bought me. I put a card and a hand sanitizer in the bag and gave it to her for her birthday. That night, my mom got a call from this girl's mother asking if I had given her this purse and hand sanitizer. I lied and said no, I only gave her a card and the sanitizer. Her mom requested I come over to her house to talk it out. Me and my dad go over there and they start questioning me, and I'm standing there lying to this girl's face about what we both know was not true. Everyone ended up believing me, even my own parents. The mom then told me and my dad that she had been to juvie before and that she's a compulsive liar and had stolen many things before, which is why my story was so believable. The girl then disappeared from school and never ever came back.